What's up with the YouTube fam, man? I'm back again with another video, as you can see. But before I jump into the video, I want y'all to go to the comment section and add out my social medias if you want to. If you don't want to, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, man, where I got this video from, everybody know the Breakfast Club. They had a very interesting debate about private school versus public school. I mean, I feel so many different ways about this shit. We finna watch this video. I am gonna be pausing it, so if you don't want to watch it being paused, you don't want to hear what I got to say, exit the video. And all y'all gotta do is go to the Breakfast Club and watch it by yourself. But yeah, man, we finna watch this shit. I'm gonna tell y'all what I feel about it throughout the video, probably. If not, I'll probably just wait to the end and tell y'all what I feel about it. It's like 11 minutes, so shit, y'all be ready to sit down and check this whole out. But yeah, let's go ahead and watch it and see what's up. All right.
Feel like in places that are hostile toward black people, you should not send your children to school with white children till they're 13 years old. Let the first, just though if you look at other ethnic communities, they keep themselves insulated till about the child 13, 14, you know, then they have a ceremony and stuff, child gets out. I went to a school named the Collier Heights Elementary School. You guys Google Collier Heights, it's a nationally recognized neighborhood that was black people gentrified this neighborhood from poor white people. Sent the poor white people on out to Cobb County and Mableton. They gentrified it. Everybody lived in this neighborhood, from working class blacks like my grandparents to Dr. King's parents, to former State Senator Billy McKinney. This school was a great school because rich black people lived in my neighborhood too. So I was able to afford a great education. I then went on to Frederick Douglass High School. Frederick Douglass was the greatest abolitionist of the 19th century, most photographed person of the 19th century. So essentially, I'm talking about the Barack Obama of his time. So I go to Frederick Douglass High School. Our rival is Benjamin E. Mays High School, former president of Morehouse College. We also have George Washington Carver High School, President King, and Martin Luther King also went to Booker T. Washington High School. So 70% of the schools in Atlanta named for black educators and emancipators. I don't care if I was a C student, I had a sense of pride that most black children didn't have because they were not in a circle of pride. The community was black. My teachers were black. They taught me some imaginary group of white kids I was competing with out there in the suburbs, and we had to do better, so they gave me purpose. So by the time I met white children, I was an equal. Right. You can't tell me my skin looked like poo.
Word up.
Why your skin looked like bird poo? What you talking about, lame? You know what I mean? Like, I was already prepared. But what I wasn't was unconfident. And I'm just saying, to areas where we hostile at.
That's a tough one, though.
No, that's not a tough one.
I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because, right, I'm from a place, Queens Village, where we had the first metal detectors on high school, right? So my parents made the option of not putting me in that high school, my zone school, which was Andrew Jackson, and put me in a school called St. Francis Prep, right? Okay. St. Francis Prep, I had to take 3-4 buses to get to school, but the education was way better than the education that was at Andrew Jackson. Not only was the education better, it gave me better opportunities by putting that school on my application. It gave me an advantage of most students, not just black students, white students, Asian students, all those students. So they gave me that opportunity coming from Queens Village, coming from Queens. So for my kids, who I have 5, who I go through a lot of it, I have my daughter in a private school who goes probably one of the top private schools in New Jersey, but she's already taking college courses on top of her what she does. It's no longer 30, 40 kids per class, it's 8 kids per class, and her education is like no other. My son is a little different because my son goes to a private school, but he's in the hood doing other things. He's playing football in Newark. He's playing basketball in Newark, so he gets that. But that education that he gets in those schools is unlike anything that I ever got in my life, which gives him that advantage.
Killer Mike?
That most kids don't get.
Do you care to retort?
He's looking something up.
Well, first I said, if you're in an area where your children...
My bad, somebody had called. But yeah, man, I don't feel what Killer Mike said when he said that they should be 13 before they start being around white people or going to a certain school and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like shit, they should just come into the world getting used to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do get what he's saying, that people being hostile, more hostile in this area than this area. But shit, like, you're gonna run into it regardless. So why not just go ahead and get it out the way? Like, fuck it, go ahead and get adjusted to it. You don't want to go be 13 years old and then somebody do something to you and then you flip out because you didn't know how to react to the shit because you're not used to it. And then I feel what Envy said, because like, your education is hindered just a little bit when there's so many people around. Now let me tell you what I feel about that. What I mean by this. say for instance, if it's a class of 40 kids and a class of 8 kids, it's too many kids that's not going to receive the message like they should receive it. You feel me? Because it's too many people to try to get to understand it. That's why kids get left behind and shit, because they couldn't keep up. Now, if that teacher had ample time to sit down and explain certain shit to the kids how they needed it to be explained, they would be able to grasp it just a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So I can totally understand what he's saying when he say that his kids are reaching a higher level of education. Now, it is certain schools in the ghetto or just in regular, you know, neighborhoods. They ain't gotta be necessarily the ghetto, but they receiving good education too. But it's really all on the will of the child, in my eyes. You feel me? The child gotta want that shit. You gotta install that into the child before they leave to, hey, you need to be in school getting your work. You need to be trying to understand this shit. When the progress reports and shit come home, they not doing good, send their ass to goddamn, what's that shit called? Damn, I'm tripping. I forgot what the fuck it's called. Get them a tutor. You know, shit like that, you know, but yeah, that's enough talk. I'm gonna go ahead and finish watching this shit. I am gonna stop it like I said though, but that's just my thoughts so far.
Rich nigga, you got white folks money. So you are not gonna endure the same the hostilities that a working class black parent is, who's living in Sumter, who's living in Atlanta,
my kids been called niggas. It's been hostile.
I done say being called niggas when your dad got a Ferrari just don't hurt as much. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, very serious. No, because me and you always getting a good argument, but nigga, you rich, and you cannot take that away. And my question becomes this. With all the great education you got, you turned out to be a DJ and a real estate investor. You didn't have to go to college.
Not a DJ, an entrepreneur, bro.
I'm not dissing DJs. Okay, I'm a part of hip hop. I'm an MC. I'm just a rapper. I can call myself an entrepreneur too, and I am. Right? We both got millions of dollars of property. We both do cool shit. But we make our money singing and dancing. That's what we make our money doing. So your investment comes from your talent, what you were interested in, what you chose to pursue. Black people, your children are going to have pursuits. And I was looking for, and I'll find, before I came up here, I visited an academy that's owned by a former Ohio State player. Okay. This academy is all black children, about a small church out in Lithonia, Georgia. All black kids learning, dominating, 100% college rate. So what I was getting to on a grander level is, if you can't send your children to Woodward, if you can't send your children to St. wherever, I'm going to send my youngest daughter, hopefully to Paideia, just so she gets some inclusion, because she's a little too black for me. She's a little Chuck Diaz. You know, she scare me sometimes. I'm saying to put confident children in the world. See, because we always love that cop out of, hey, man, you know, we sent my children there for a better education, but the same niggas be telling me how much they paid for college. Your children ain't rewarding that by scholarshiping. After you do them years, you're not directing your children to Howard, not you. You're not directing your children to Howard or Morehouse or Spelman or Bethune-Cookman or Tuskegee University. Then you're doing some further chump shit. You done tell them for 5-6 years, you done been called a nigga. You done got a twisted word. Oh, it's a great education. The education don't even teach you as Egypt is in Africa. Don't teach you to be proud of nothing about yourself. It just teaches you how to take tests well and how to participate and coordinate according to the system and the way they teach you. And you never thought, God damn, I could start my own Montessori school. Where it's 8 kids.
Now, that's some real shit, you know what I'm saying? I totally get what he's saying. He's basically trying to keep it in the community, you know? But I mean, I'm with that shit, but at the same time, shit, you gotta be, you know what I'm saying, kind of lenient on it, you know? Because, like, shit, the world is going, you're going to see white people here, you're going to see white people there. Now, I feel what he said when he said, now, hey, if you're going to send their ass to private school, they need to go to a black college if they black, you know what I'm saying? If you want to support blacks, okay, let them go ahead and get their education here. And then after that, they can go to a black college, you know. That's if you are pro-black, you know. I mean, if you're strictly into that pro-black shit, you know, then do that, you know. If you're against white people, you ain't necessarily got to be against white people to be pro-black. So let me rephrase that. But yeah, man, I feel where you're coming from, though. Shit, hey, if you claim to be this type of person, then when they get done getting their education from here, send their ass to the blacks, to the black school, you know. But they don't make you a chump either, though. So, shit, I don't know. Killer might just, you know, I can't tell this nigga how to feel about this shit, but let's go ahead and finish, though.
The whole school. And I'm not saying this because I heard this shit of some goddamn chump-ass rhyme from a chump-ass rapper. I own a third of a block in Atlanta.
Straight up.
And the second block next to me was bought by 5 white people who didn't even know each other. And they started a Montessori school within 3 months. Nigga, do something. I used to wonder to myself, man, why is Dick Gregory so mad? Because he cussed me and Tip out the first time we met him. He said, man, what y'all niggas gonna do? March the same shit we've been doing 50 years? Nigga ain't gonna tell you to march. You got to be off the streets by 7 o'clock. If you ain't ever gonna keep, yeah, the schools seem better because you buying into that. Why are we not starting our own academies and supporting them? Why are we not supporting historically black colleges and universities? That's where our heroes went. That's where they came from. Dr. King with the Booker T. Washington. You gonna show me a nigga smarter than him?
Straight up.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't have no problems with you loving your children. But my children go to public school. Because I pay taxes in public school and they named for black people. And either you're going to choose to be excellent and you're going to do better, or you're going to sit your chump ass down and you're going to keep me in the same shit over and over. But you can't complain and say that greatness wasn't given to you. If you walk in a school named for Frederick Douglass High School and you do not have the initiative, as a parent or the student to walk up and step up to that greatness, but you would do it at St. Pius? You would do it at St. Michael? Man, you a chump.
That's why
I'm not talking about you.
See, so you can sit here and say the chump shit all day long.
I'm not talking about you. I'm telling you life skin and I'm getting your feelings, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about working class people. I'm talking again about working class people.
Public school teachers are not getting paid, are overworked, and some of them are not putting the effort out because there's some of them are the worst teachers in the country.
I don't agree. I'm here to defend teachers. You are full of shit.
My mom is a...
Now look, now I feel envy on this shit right here. And I ain't being biased, I ain't riding with envy. I'm just speaking on who I feel is right. They both not wrong, but you know, envy more than the right. These teachers start not to give a fuck. You can tell like how kids look when they leave the schools and shit like that. They don't, like, if they younger, these teachers don't give a fuck if the kids' noses, nasty, clothes falling off and none of that shit. And I feel like shit, if they are held accountable for your children for all these hours, they should keep them up to par, you know what I'm saying? But it be so many kids, they get so frustrated, they're not getting paid. Now, I bet if they rose their pay up to $50,000 more dollars or something like that, they'll go in school happy-go-lucky, ready to do some shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying all of them will, the majority have a different outlook on shit. You know, if you get a raise, you're gonna go into work ready to do some shit, you feel me? So I feel where envy coming from. Like, shit, these kids is not getting the best education that they can get because of the teachers not actually getting what they want from the job. So shit, they are gonna lack the enthusiasm to teach your children how they should be taught, you know? But like Killer Mike said, they gotta have that shit, you know, they gotta be, had to put in the initiative to go into school, ready to get this shit. You know, they got that, but that goes with what I was just saying a while ago. The child gotta want this shit. You gotta install it into your child to want this shit. It just don't come from nowhere. So I feel like shit, it really don't matter what school you go to, but overall, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get a certain level of education, private school would probably be a better place to send them because they can pay good money. It ain't that many kids. So if one child not getting something, they can't actually sit down and talk to them and teach them some shit. But if you parenting how you supposed to be parenting, your kids gonna want to go to school and learn this shit. You know, now I know some kids that's not gonna be willing to do this shit. You know, it's gonna be kids that drop out, it's gonna be kids that don't want to learn, but majority of people, man, it started at home. So shit, if the kids not want to do some shit at the house, what the fuck make you think they gonna want to go to school and learn some shit and be so enthused to learn? So this shit really started at home. But I do feel like I ain't gonna say just private schools. The less children in the classroom, the better chances everybody have of learning. The more kids in the classroom, the less chance that they have of learning. That's just my opinion. Let's finish this shit.
You full of shit. You full of shit. You full of shit.
My mom been a public school teacher for 30 years.
Some DJs whack. You not one of them. Now get out of here. That's wrong. That's to throw teachers under the bus is wrong. You are wrong.
Yeah, you can't throw public.
Yeah, you are wrong.
You're not going to put words in my mouth. I said some public school teachers are there and they don't give it all, and some of them don't have the tools that the same schools that other schools have. Don't put words in my mouth. I don't put words in yours. And that's what I'm saying. Hold on. So when it comes to, no, I'm not mad. I let you speak. I let you give your spiel.
Me and Envy always had these arguments.
When I give my spiel, oh, he's mad. No, I'm just speaking the facts. I've been to public school. I've been to certain states. But for me, learning to do certain things is learning way different. My kids go to private school, right? My son has his own business. has started his own thing, things that he learned that I
Private
didn't
school
learn
don't
before.
do that,
You know
though.
why? Because those opportunities were given to him. My daughter has been to places most people haven't been ever.
I think they learned a lot of that from you, though.
Because no,
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
They
are-
no,
learned, they learned more of that from you
Y'all
than they
didn't come here to
could.
argue.
no,
Every you
it's not,
right.
it's not
At
only
home.
me, but they have
Everybody
that-
get
no,
rich, send
it's
children to
not
private
only
school.
me. They
It's gonna
have
all
business
work out.
classes where they learn real estate in her school. I didn't never learn real estate.
You know
how
what
I
she
learned
you
real
know what she
estate?
gets
You know
the
how I learned
example from
real
her
estate? I
father,
bought something
but she
fucked up,
get it
that's
from
all I
her
know.
father.
But
though.
they teach it in school.
Envy, I'm not
They
saying
teach it
envy.
in
I'm not
school.
saying they don't.
Yes, I push my kids, but they teach it
speaking
in
for
school.
the working class
They teach it in
African American, that child is in an environment that is hostile to them.
And that's why I said that in my own
That's what
example.
I was speaking to.
That was my
to her
own-
experience.
my own
So what
example.
I'm speaking to again, because if you rich, you insulate. Speaking to the working class African American. If you are unsatisfied with your school system, radically change it by voting in a new board, put in for new systems to be constructed, or support charter schools. Oh, and then we all get nervous. Oh, charter schools, oh, that's Republican. But pull your children out and start a best academy like in Atlanta.
That's
Or
right.
Diddy
Coretta
has
Scott
his
King.
charter school in
Yeah,
Harlem.
and LeBron.
Shout out to Diddy and Steve
That's all
Perry.
I'm saying,
Jalen
man.
Rose has his
We got
charter
to
school.
start giving these
Jalen,
excuses to
Diddy.
leave each other. We do the same.
It's
Me and you
not
make money because
excuses.
people left the hood.
It's legit.
Me-
My
it's
father
not
made
legit.
$50,000. How the fuck was he going to start a charter school?
Bro.
He did what he could. He took
Who?
me out of fucking Andrew Jackson, my father. Took me
Nigga,
out of
I ain't
Andrew
going to
Jackson.
get your father
We're
with
talking
your
about
dad.
each other.
Yeah, I'm
We
with
talking
your
about
dad.
each other.
No, that's
Well,
what
with your
but-
father.
but
I'm talking. I'm not
talking-
talking about for you. What I'm saying is, in spite of all the education you got, your dream and your pursuit and your belief in the kid that you met when you told the story about meeting Clue, that's what brought you here. What brought you here is your own self-invention, your own curiosity, your own mind. And in school, that's what it should be. I'm not sending my youngest daughter potentially to Padale because it's a white school. I'm sending her because they actually go outside. They have class outside. And they think art is important as science. You get what I'm saying? Now, if that's the argument you're saying to me, that's fine. But if you're going to simply tell me there's a great business curriculum there, I'm going to retort to say at George Washington Carver High School in Atlanta, they have a dry cleaning program. They have a t-shirt printing program. They have auto mechanics. I learned aviation. I learned how to fly and aviation mechanics at George High School. So my question just becomes, what are we allowing public schools to be? Now that we've had our mandatory light-skinned, dark-skinned argument, what are we going, because you still pay taxes publicly, what are we going to do to ensure the children of the working class get what our children have? The confidence that they need to be successful.
See,
And that ain't taught in school.
And see, this is the thing.
If you got the right kind of teacher.
Yeah, if you got the right kind of teachers, but most of that pride and that confidence is instilled at home.
See what you said, and what I'm
Straight
trying to
up.
explain is what you said is they teach aviation, they teach mechanics, they teach nursing, and they teach great jobs, right? But in these other schools, they teach you how to be billionaires, and there's a big difference, and there's a big line. And yes,
How many of those kids are going to go on
we
to
need
be
mechanics, millionaires, and
Billionaires.
billionaires. A lot of them,
Yeah.
a lot of them are turning
What's
to
a
be
lot?
billionaires.
Give me a
millionaires.
solid number.
I don't know percentages.
Because most
I
people
don't
are
know
not
percentages.
going, let me tell
But
most
there's
people
a
something
difference- but there's a
out there in the
difference
real
between
world with the
learning
fantasy that
mechanics,
they're ever
learning
going to
avi-
get.
Man, that's pretty much it, man, that I can put on here, because shit, I ain't trying to get copyrighted none of this shit. If y'all want to finish it, all y'all got to do is go to the damn Breakfast Club and you can watch the whole thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about the whole thing, man. It really started at home. The same shit that you installing your kids with at home, they gonna bring that out to the world. They so impressionable, so whatever you present, they gonna receive and they gonna act on it. So install, you know what I'm saying, hunger for education, install, motivation every day, and you're gonna get results at either school. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like the less kids, the more education you'll get. But and the teachers play a role too. We gotta hold them accountable also. The teacher is the teacher. That's the person who's giving the lesson. So they gotta be willing and ready to educate also. They gotta have a passion for this shit. They gotta want this shit too. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that shit had to be installed in them also, But yeah, man, y'all come in and tell me what y'all feel about the whole thing. I feel like either school, you can get the education that you need. It's just when there's so many kids, I feel like you can't receive it how you want to, because the teachers don't have enough time to sit there and give it to everybody. That's why I be so many people left behind each year. I feel like they shorten the classes, make them smaller. They can help out other kids, because you got to think, if it's 50 kids in the classroom, one kid might be scared to raise their hand and say, hey, I need help, because they don't want to look stupid. Now, if it's less kids, they might be like, hey, I didn't get this, they, you know, they might have more confidence. But like they said, you can build a confidence at home to where they don't give a fuck who in the room, you know. So it's both ways. It ain't no right or wrong, you know. They both had some valid points like a motherfucker. But yeah, man, like I said, man, y'all tell me what y'all feel about it. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you like my content. If you don't like my content, I really don't give a fuck. I'll holler at y'all next video. All right.